Canada has a migration problem. We need to fix it fast. Canada's population now stands at almost 41 million people. A decade ago, it was about 36 million. And no, the population did not spike thanks to a baby boom. Rather, mass migration is driving the growth. This includes everything from bona fide immigrants to illegal aliens, from temporary foreign workers to international students. And there have been unintended consequences such as, well, cultural incompatibility. Case in point, on October 7, 2023, Hamas terrorists butchered almost 1,200 people while kidnapping more than 250 in Israel. It was the biggest single-day massacre of Jews since the end of the Holocaust some 80 years ago. The very next day in Canada, the demonstrations began, some of them quite big. But the protests were not about condemning the slaughter. Rather, these demonstrations celebrated the massacre of innocent people half a world away. For those on Team Civilization, this outpouring of savagery was equal parts disgusting, enraging, and shocking. We always knew anti-Semitism was a thing, but this? In the months that followed, we have witnessed thugs physically assaulting Jews for, well, being Jewish, shooting up Jewish schools and synagogues, displaying swastikas and chanting genocide, cosplaying as terrorists, marching into Jewish neighborhoods and spewing hatred. As for the authorities and law enforcement, they continue to shrug their shoulders. Meanwhile, barely a month goes by in which there is not a demonstration by temporary foreign workers and international students, primarily from India, demanding that they get to stay in Canada, that hell no, they won't go. Apparently, they have a hard time grasping the definition of the word temporary. Gallingly, they make their case by cribbing wacko talking points from the loony left, such as no one is illegal on stolen land, such as Canada is a nation full of haters and racists. Makes you wonder who in their right mind would want to move to such a deplorable dominion, but never mind. In the big picture, what we have witnessed in recent years is proof positive that state-sanctioned multiculturalism has been an abject failure. It was on October 8, 1971, that Prime Minister Pierre Trudeau announced in the House of Commons that multiculturalism was now official government policy. According to the Canadian Museum of Immigration at Pier 21, the government committed to support multiculturalism in 4 specific ways: assistance to cultural groups in their development and growth, assistance to members of cultural groups to overcome barriers to full participation in society, promotion of creative exchanges between cultural groups, and assistance to immigrants in learning French or English. Essentially, unlike the so-called melting pot south of the border, the Canadian government was fine with newcomers hanging on to their culture as opposed to fully embracing Canadian culture and Canadian values. And although nothing was put down in writing, there was always an unspoken deal when it came to Canada's official multiculturalism policy. And it was this: you can emigrate to Canada, you can pursue the Canadian dream, you can make use of Canada's myriad social programs ranging from healthcare to welfare. But in return, this is what we ask. You behave yourself. You don't break the law. And perhaps most importantly, you do not import age-old hatred and feuds into Canada because, well, that's just not the Canadian way. It's clear this was a fatal assumption leading to a colossal miscalculation. And yet the Liberals keep doubling down on this brutal strategy by importing the worst of the worst when it comes to, for example, Middle East hate mongers. You know, before he left office, Prime Minister Justin Trudeau issued 5,000 visas to Gassans. We know that about 80% of Gazans support Hamas. We know other Middle East Arab countries want absolutely nothing to do with these people. And does anyone think these people are going to behave in Canada and embrace Western values? Anyone? But no, Justin Trudeau believed that the solution to out-of-control anti-Semitism was to throw gasoline on the fire. We would be remiss if we didn't mention Canada's national youth unemployment rate for individuals aged 15 to 24. It is currently sitting at approximately 13.8%. That's staggering. And the end result is that a part-time job or a summer job for students is now rapidly becoming a thing of the past. Why would that be? Well, just consider the dubious nickname for Canada's largest food service company, Sing Hortons. Sure, Tim's is part of a multi-billion-dollar global conglomerate, but if gaming Canada's temporary foreign worker program means further bolstering the bottom line, even at the expense of Canadians, then so be it. It's just business, baby. And yet, disturbingly, by every economic benchmark, unemployment, cost of living, food bank usage, homelessness, the numbers are dire and have been so for a decade now. And the question arises, how do we win the war on poverty by importing the world's impoverished? Meanwhile, under Mark Carney, the Liberals continue to be all in when it comes to mass migration. Why? Well, it's all about party before country. The biggest voting bloc for the Liberals is the baby boomer generation. But the Liberals aren't stupid. They know this voting bloc is literally dying off. The oldest boomers are now entering their 80s. The solution? Import a new voting bloc. Promise citizenship and all the benefits that go along with Canadian citizenship to anyone, regardless of one's skill set or values, regardless if they actually despise Western values. The quid pro quo? Show up at the ballot box every 4 years or so and vote Team Red. That's all. The time has come to say enough is enough. That this odious trend must be reversed, that country must come before party and electoral games. If you are a temporary foreign worker, you're exactly that, a temporary guest, one who must leave when it's time to do so. If you're an international student, you are here for an education, not permanent residency leading to citizenship. And if you are applying for citizenship and you embrace rather than denounce terrorism, we don't want your ilk here. You're not welcome and you must leave. Do you agree? Sign the petition today at remigrationnow.ca and please add your name. Take a stand for Canada and Canadian values.